everybody. It's Jeff McKerley. I am here for story time again today. There have been a lot of people volunteering to have story time, but today was kind of open, and so I kind of snagged it up because I enjoyed it so much the last time. So I'm doing this on my own feed right now. Hi, Sophia and Jared, Jarius and Kirk. If you have your child around, maybe they want to join in. I'm getting a message from Natasha right now, too. So today I'm reading three books, three more different books than before. I hope you enjoy them, and tell me which ones you like in the comments below, or tell me what you might like to hear, because who knows, I might have that stored in the attic somewhere, because my child is now 16 years old and doesn't do these books very much anymore. So I'm going to start with Harold and the Purple Crayon. So I wore purple today just because of that. You'll see why in a minute. And this is by Crockett Johnson. One evening, after thinking it over for some time, Harold decided to go for a walk in the moonlight. There wasn't any moon, and Harold needed a moon for a walk in the moonlight, and he needed something to walk on. He made a long, straight path so he wouldn't get lost, and he set off on his walk, taking his big purple crayon with him. But he didn't seem to be getting anywhere on the long, straight path, so he left the path for a shortcut across a field, and the moon went with him. The shortcut led right to where Harold thought a forest ought to be. He didn't want to get lost in the woods, so he made a very small forest with just one tree in it. It turned out to be an apple tree. The apple would be very tasty, Harold thought, when they got red. But they were purple. So he put a frightening dragon under the tree to guard the apples. It was a terribly frightening dragon. Look at it. All those teeth. Eek. Hi, Maria. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Francie. It even frightened Harold. He backed away. His hand holding the purple crayon shook. Suddenly, he realized what was happening. But by then, Harold was over his head in an ocean. He came up, thinking fast, and in no time he was climbing aboard a trim little boat. He quickly set sail, and the moon sailed along with him. After he had sailed long enough, Harold made land without much trouble. He was very proficient, wasn't he? He stepped ashore on the beach, wondering where he was. The sandy beach reminded Harold of picnics, and the thought of picnics made him hungry. So he laid out a nice, simple picnic lunch. I wish I could just draw my food and eat it. That would be so nice. There was nothing but pie. But there were all 9 kinds of pie that Harold liked best. What do you think those were? Look at those 9 pies. 9. Cherry, chocolate, apple, pumpkin, lemon, icebox. I don't know. What do you think? When Harold finished his picnic, there was quite a lot left. He hated to see so much delicious pie go to waste. So Harold left a very hungry moose and a deserving porcupine to finish it up. And off he went, looking for a hill to climb to see where he was. Harold knew that the higher up he went, the farther he could see. So he decided to make the hill into a mountain. If he went high enough, he thought, he could see the window of his bedroom. He was tired, and he felt he ought to be getting to bed. He was probably full, too, from all that pie. He hoped... Oh, sorry, that's my message sound. So now you know someone wants to message me. Anyway, he hoped he could see his bedroom window from the top of the mountain. Look at him there. The moon's still around. But as he looked down over the other side, he slipped. And there wasn't any other side of the mountain. He was falling in thin air. Oh! But luckily, he kept his wits and his purple crayon. He made a balloon and he grabbed onto it. Hi, Tom Diggs. And he made a basket under the balloon big enough to stand in. Hi, J.R. Hawkins and Cole Ferguson and Laurel Farley Crow. Hope you're having a good day today. And he made a basket under the big balloon enough... let me try that again. And he made a basket under the balloon big enough to stand in. He had a fine view from the balloon, but he couldn't see his window. He couldn't even see a house. So he made a house with windows. And he landed the balloon on the grass in the front yard. None of the windows was his window. He tried to think where his window ought to be. He made some more windows. He made a big building full of windows. Hi, Kim. He made lots of buildings full of windows. He made a whole city full of windows. But none of the windows were his window. He couldn't think where it might be. Hi, Alan. He decided to ask a policeman. The policeman pointed the way Harold was going anyway, but Harold thanked him. Hi, Alan. And he walked along with the moon, wishing he was in his room and in his bed because he was tired. Then suddenly, Harold remembered. He remembered where his bedroom window was when there was a moon. It was always right around the moon. And then suddenly, and then Harold made his bed. He got in it, and he drew up the covers. Hi, Veronica Dewar. The purple crayon dropped to the floor, and Harold dropped off to sleep. And that is the end of that story, after Harold went to sleep. This is a book of 4 different adventures of Harold and the purple crayon, and so I only read one of those. But Harold's very creative, isn't he? Just like you can be. All right, so that was Harold and the purple crayon. And sticking with my purple theme, at least for the next book, I'm going to read Lilly's Purple Plastic Purse by Kevin Henkes. Henkes? Kevin, maybe you're watching and you can tell us how to say your name back. So, watching for nap time. Hi. Hi, everybody. So this is Lilly's Purple Plastic Purse, to go with my purple theme today, kind of. Lilly's Purple Plastic Purse. I want to show you Lilly. She's a very smart... Oh, that's people telling me that they're watching me or something. I need to turn that off, don't I? Because it's becoming a little bit too much to do. All right. Maybe that will help. All right. We'll try it again. Lilly's Purple Plastic Purse. Lilly loved school. I love school. She loved the pointy pencils. She loved the squeaky chalk. And she loved the way her boots went clickety-clackety-click down the long, shiny hallways. Lily loved the privacy of her very own desk. She loved the fish sticks and chocolate milk every Friday in the lunchroom. Straws make everything taste better. And most of all, she loved her teacher, Mr. Slinger. For you. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Ruth. Mr. Slinger was as sharp as a tack. He wore artistic shirts. He wore glasses on a chain around his neck. And he wore a different colored tie for each day of the week. Wow, said Lily. That was just about all she could say. Wow. Instead of greetings, students, or good morning, pupils, Mr. Slinger winked and said, howdy. He thought that desks in rows were old-fashioned and boring. Do you rodents think you can handle a semicircle? And he always provided the most tasty snacks, things that were curly and crunchy and cheesy. I want to be a teacher when I grow up, said Lily. Me too, said her friends Chester and Wilson and Victor. And there she is with her friends, Chester, Wilson, and Victor. At home, Lily pretended to be Mr. Slinger. I am the teacher, she told her baby brother Julius. Listen up! Lily even wanted her own set of deluxe picture encyclopedias. I don't blame her. I loved my encyclopedias. What's with Lily? Asked her mother. I thought you wanted to be a surgeon, or an ambulance driver, or a diva, said her father. It must be because of her new teacher, Mr. Slinger, said her mother. Wow, said her father. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Whenever the students had free time, they were permitted to go to the light bulb lab in the back of the classroom. They expressed their ideas creatively through drawing and writing. Lily went often. I don't blame her. She had a lot of ideas. She drew pictures of Mr. Slinger, and she wrote stories about him too. During sharing time, Lily showed her creations to the entire class. Wow, said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. And the very last second, Mr. Slinger saved the cold, starving elderly. This was her big, friendly, nice Mr. Nice Man teacher story that she wrote. When Mr. Slinger had bus duty, Lily stood in line even though she didn't ride the bus. Lily raised her hand more than anyone else in class, even if she didn't know the answer. And she volunteered to stay after school to clap erasers. I want to be a teacher when I grow up, said Lily. Excellent choice, said Mr. Slinger. One Monday morning, Lily came to school especially happy. She had gone shopping with her Grammy over the weekend. Lily had a new pair of movie star sunglasses, complete with glittery diamonds and a chain like Mr. Slinger's. She had 3 shiny quarters, and best of all, she had a brand new purple plastic purse that played a jaunty tune when it opened. Oh, that was fancy. Lily wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Listen to our story. Lily had a hard time listening. Lily really wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Let's be considerate of our classmates. Lily had a hard time being considerate. Lily really wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Wait until recess or sharing time. But Lilly could not wait. The glasses were so glittery, the quarters were so shiny, and the purse played such nice music, not to mention how excellent it was for storing school supplies. Look, Lilly whispered fiercely. Look, everyone. Look what I've got. Everyone looked, including Mr. Slinger. He was not amused. I'll just keep your things at my desk until the end of the day, said Mr. Slinger. They'll be safe there, and then you can take them home. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Her glasses were gone. Her quarters were gone. Her purple plastic purse was gone. Lilly longed for her purse all morning. She was even too sad to eat the snack Mr. Slinger served before recess. I'm going to fix my... There we go. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Amanda. I'm so glad Harmony likes this. That afternoon, Lilly went to the light bulb lab. She was still very sad. She thought, and she thought, and she thought. And then she became angry. She thought, and she thought, and she thought some more. And then she became furious. And she thought, and she thought, and she thought a bit longer. And then she drew a picture of Mr. Slinger. Watch her drawing. Look at her drawing. She's mad. Big, fat, mean Mr. Stealing Teacher. Wanted by the FBI. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up, she wrote. Right before the last bell rang, Lilly sneaked the drawing into Mr. Slinger's book bag. When all the students were buttoned and zipped and snapped and tied and ready to go home, Mr. Slinger strolled over to Lilly and gave her her purple plastic purse back. It's a beautiful purse, said Mr. Slinger. Your quarters are nice and jingly, and those glasses are absolutely fabulous. You may bring them back to school as long as you don't disturb the rest of the class. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up, Lilly said as she marched out of the classroom. On the way home, Lilly opened her purse. Her glasses and quarters were inside. And so was a note from Mr. Slinger. It said, "Today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better." There was also a small bag of tasty snacks at the bottom of the purse. How thoughtful of Mr. Slinger, huh? Lily's stomach lurched again. She felt like crying. She felt simply awful. Lilly ran all the way home and told her mother and father everything. Instead of watching her favorite cartoons, Lilly decided to sit in the uncooperative chair. I'll stay here 1,000,000 years for Mr. Slinger, and she said. Why does everything always happen to me? She said. 1,051, 1,052, 1,099. She's counting and counting. That night, Lilly drew a new picture of Mr. Slinger and wrote a story about him. Lilly was really, really sorry, so everyone forgave her, even her parents, even her stinky baby brother, even her especially incredible teacher, and then the sun shined its smiley face down on everyone and everything, even the bugs and worms. The end. Listen up, I forgive everyone. So that was her story she wrote. I'm an author, she says right here. You know what an author is? That's someone who writes books and stories. Lily's mother wrote a note, and Lily's father baked some tasty snacks for Lily to take to school the next day. "I think Mr. Slinger will understand," said Lily's mother. "I know he will," said Lily's father. The next morning, Lily got to school early. "These are for you," Lily said to Mr. Slinger, "because I'm really, 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 really sorry." Mr. Slinger read the story, and he looked at the picture, and he read the note. What does it say? And he sampled the snacks. Yum, yum. "Wow," said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. "What do you think you should do with this?" asked Mr. Slinger. "Can we just throw it away?" asked Lily. "Excellent idea," said Mr. Slinger. So he was asking her about the mean note that she left before. During sharing time, Lily demonstrated the many uses and unique qualities of her purple plastic purse, her shiny quarters, and her glittery movie star sunglasses. Look at her. Look at her in her sunglasses. Whoop, right there. Then she did a little performance using them as props. "It's called interpretive dance," said Lily. Mr. Slinger joined in. "Wow," said the entire class. And that was just about all they could say. What do you think they said? Wow! Throughout the rest of the day, Lily's purse and quarters and sunglasses were tucked safely inside her desk. She peeked at them often, but did not disturb a soul. Right before the last bell rang, Mr. Slinger served Lily's snacks to everyone's delight. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" asked Mr. Slinger. "A teacher!" everyone responded. Lily's response was the loudest. "Excellent choice," said Mr. Slinger. And the pupils filed out of the classroom, and Lily held her purple plastic purse close to her heart. Mr. Slinger was right. It had been a better day. Lily ran and skipped and hopped and flew all the way home. She was so happy. And she really did want to be a teacher when she grew up. That is, when she didn't want to be a dancer or a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva or a pilot or a hairdresser or a scuba diver, or what else do you think she wanted to be when she grew up? So that's a shout out to all of our teachers who literally in 2 days rearranged their entire schedules and learned how to do all of this online. Teachers rock. So that was Lily's Purple Plastic Purse by Kevin. You pronounce it. Hi, Renee. You're a doll too, baby. All right, I have one more story, and that's the end of my story time for today. But I'll be back on April the 4th. I hope you can join me. And this is sponsored by the Artist Relief Fund. So your baby is out, Veronica. That's a good sign. Hi, Terry Chandler. This is by the Artist Emergency Relief Fund. So all of those artists who do not have shows anymore or are looking for work or food and things like that, this Artist Relief Fund is helping so many artists that are suddenly out of work because all of their shows closed. So if you get a chance to visit their page, which you're on right now if you're watching on their page, please donate some money if you have any to spare. Anything helps. So this book, I love this book. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's called Something Special, by David McPhail. Something special. Everyone in Sam's family could do something special. Everyone except Sam. Sam's sister Sarah played the piano. Sam loved to watch her fingers fly over the keys. But when Sam sat down to play, it wasn't the same. "You must have stone fingers, Sam," Sarah cried. Sam's sister Flo played first base. She hardly ever missed a catch. Sam could watch her play for hours. Sam wanted to play baseball too, but he couldn't catch a thing. "Butterfingers," said Flo. Sam's brother Eugene was a computer whiz. He really knew how to make that computer hum. "Let me try," begged Sam. But when Sam touched the computer, it screamed. "Ah!" And so did Eugene. I don't blame him. Sam's father was a wonderful cook. Not only did everything taste good, it looked beautiful too. Once, Sam helped cook dinner, but no one was hungry. Sam's mother carved wooden birds. Sam thought they almost looked alive. He wished he could carve birds too, but he was too young to use a sharp knife. "Maybe Grandma will teach me to knit," thought Sam. "She makes it look so easy." But it wasn't. Look at him all tangled up in the knitting yarn. The magician on TV made the disappearing egg trick look easy too. But the trick didn't work for Sam, no matter how many times he tried. Even Sam's dog, Fred, could do something special. Look at him balancing the bone on his nose. "I can do that," Sam said. But he couldn't. "What else can I try?" Sam wondered. He walked down to the pond to see the ducks. The birds were singing. "Maybe I can sing," he thought. But not even the birds would listen. Sam went to talk to his mother. She was trying to paint a duck's feathers. "Just can't get it right," she complained. "Maybe it should be greener," said Sam, "like the ducks in the pond." "Show me," said Mother. "Why, that's perfect," Mother said. "This is fun," Sam said. "May I paint a picture?" "That apple looks good enough to eat," said his father, so he painted a picture of an apple. Next, Sam painted a picture of Sarah with her flying fingers, and one of Flo holding the trophy she just won. "It looks just like you, Flo," said Sarah. Then Sam painted a picture of Eugene and his computer with all its zips and zaps. Sam's family thought that being able to paint was something special. And so did Sam. And you can find something special to do as well. I hope you enjoyed your story time today. That was something special. And let me know which one you liked best. And I'll be back on the 4th. And between time, you can visit all of the other people who'll be doing story time as well at 5 o'clock every day right here on the Atlanta Artist Relief Fund Facebook page. And of course, I'll be live streaming on my own page too. So I hope you enjoyed this today. I certainly had a good time. And lots of love to everyone. Stay safe and healthy. Be kind to each other. Mwah! Bye!